Show me.
Jackie Chan is the household name when it comes to martial arts, kung fu, Hong Kong action cinema. Yes, perhaps even greater than Bruce Lee. But what I have found in many years of discussions with other kung fu, martial arts, Hong Kong action cinema fans is everyone just kind of seems to talk about the same movies. There's been a few that have come to light in recent years with some releases from 88 Films and Eureka, but if you ask people their top 5, top 10 even, it really still seems to be all the exact same movies. But a man with that many films, such a long storied career, of course there are going to be films that don't quite get enough credit despite being very good. So this list is the 5 underrated films. At least that is what this is called. This video is called. I don't quite subscribe to that definition, I guess, of underrated. I think these movies are actually all quite rated nicely, rated highly. It's just not enough people are talking about them. So really, I just kind of use the word underrated for clicks. Really, it's more underseen, under-talked about, undervalued, underappreciated. But for the video's sake, we'll call it underrated. So here we go. Let's get into it. Let's not waste any more time. Here are 5 underrated Jackie Chan films. Number 5, New Police Story. When people talk about the action heights of Jackie Chan, they obviously talk about his benchmark that is Police Story. They talk about everything from the opening shantytown car stunt, the comedy, the insanity of the mall scene from start to finish. And the first Police Story isn't the only one in the series that gets the credit. Police Story 2 and the park fight. Police Story 3 from start to finish, Super Cop with the help of Michelle Yeoh. That whole movie is just overall entertaining. And Police Story 4, First Strike, if you count that as a Police Story film, gets credit at least for the latter fight. It is, to this day, one of Jackie Chan's most talked about fight scenes. A bit overrated if you ask me. But the Police Story films made it out of the 1900s. At least 2 films made it in to the 2000s. One movie in particular deserves much more credit. In 2004's New Police Story, Jackie plays a star hero cop, just like the previous films, but this time he has taken a bit of a dive. After losing his entire team in a mission gone wrong, he has gone from hero cop to disgraced cop. He punishes himself for his mistakes and dives into the bottle, unable to look anyone, even his fiancée, in the eye. Until a rookie cop, played by Nicholas T, or Nicholas C, Nicholas Che. This is a long-time running joke on this channel. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. I could have looked it up at some point in the past 6 years. I just haven't. But this rookie cop who still sees Jackie as this hero, the hero he was when Nicholas was just a boy, he has now grown up, and he sees this disgraced cop who used to be his hero, and he thinks, no, he's still got some fight in him, and he helps him finish his mission and take down the group that killed Jackie's entire team. 2004's New Police Story stands among the upper echelons of Jackie Chan's long career. His opening battles with Andy On for the lives of his men is dramatic and intense, setting a tone uncommon for the typical comical stylings most people know from Jackie Chan. And their Legoland rematch in the finale is Jackie Chan letting the world know that at 50 years old, nearly 40 years into his career, he still had it in him to put out incredible fights and death-defying stunts in epically entertaining movies. And none of that goes to say that the film is lacking in comedy, despite it having a darker tone. One scene in particular that comes to mind sees Jackie and Nicholas escaping from a prison, not knowing if why they're being so successful at it. It's very funny. Truly a modern day staple of Jackie Chan cinema, something that stands up there with the very best of his heights of his career, the 80s, the mid to early 90s. Some of the best Jackie Chan films, and just up there with them is 2004's New Police Story. So please, for the love of God, go watch it and talk about it. Number 4, Around the World in 80 Days. This one may be the craziest choice on the list. Around the World in 80 Days is not going to be comparable in terms of action, to most of Jackie's career, but that's okay. It makes up for its lack of incredible action in just being really entertaining. Around the World in 80 Days is that same old Jules Verne story mixed with a Jackie Chan B-plot in which he joins Steve Coogan's Phineas Fogg. Because how do you make boring classical literature entertaining the same way you make anything entertaining? Kung Fu and Jackie Chan. Jackie is on the run in this one after stealing a priceless artifact from the Bank of England so he can take it back home to China, because of course the Bank of England stole some artifacts from China just like they did in real life, because, let's just steal things and keep them and say they're ours because we found them. Sorry, I've watched a lot of Kung Fu movies, and there's a lot of Kung Fu movies where the British are bad guys and they end up stealing artifacts. This isn't even the only Jackie Chan movie where this happens. It's the entire plot of Drunken Master 2. Probably one of the Once Upon a Time in China films as well. Probably more. Oh, Shaolin. Jackie Chan's in that one too. This is very common. I don't think Around the World in 80 Days is particularly anything special. I don't even think it's as good as New Police Story, but of course New Police Story had to be the one to start off this video so that people could get that far in and think, oh, this guy's gonna have some good movies to talk about. And I still think Around the World in 80 Days is a good movie to talk about. It's just it's not incredible, but I still think it's entertaining and people don't give it enough credit. I was just a boy when this movie came out, and even as a boy I had no intention of watching this movie, so I didn't even watch it until last year. I watched it last year so that I could do the tier ranking of Jackie Chan movies and, get this one on the list so that I'd actually know what I'm talking about. And I was surprised. I was actually really surprised at how just completely entertained I was. Genuinely, some of Jackie's funniest work outside of Rush Hour 1 and 2. There are a few highlights in the action, including a surprise cameo from Sammo Hung playing Wong Fei Hung, returning to the character since, I don't know, did he play the character after Magnificent Butcher? I genuinely don't know. A movie that I expected to be on the level of The Tuxedo or The Medallion turned out to actually be on the level of a Shanghai Noon. It's that good. I genuinely think so. So please, give it the credit I think it deserves. I don't think anyone's really talked about this movie since it came out. Go on Disney Plus. It's on there. It's a Disney movie. Go watch it. Give it a chance. Even if, you don't love it, I promise you're going to be pretty entertained. So, a movie that is underrated deserves some more credit. Around the World in 80 Days. Truly believe that. I know, it's crazy. New Police Story, and then Around the World in 80 Days. Who'da thunk? I thunk, just now. Well, when I wrote this video. Number 3, Gorgeous. In 1999's Gorgeous, Jackie took on a kung fu rom-com, alongside Ki Shu and Tony Leung playing a very feminine gay man. That's right, the man you know as the stoic, just rage-fueled, the Mandarin from Shang-Chi, plays in this movie as a very feminine gay man. And you know what? It's delightful. In Gorgeous, Ki Shu is a small-town Taiwanese girl who finds a message in a bottle from someone looking for love. She traces the bottle back across the sea to Hong Kong. It is there that she stumbles upon a millionaire recycling magnate. He's rich from garbage. Played by Jackie Chan. But while the two hit it off, Jackie also must deal with this sort of billionaire-millionaire rival who at some point forces him to fight a true fighter, a real fighter in this film at least, played by Brad Allen. Perfectly. Wonderful. Oh my god, this guy is the reason this movie is on this list. Miss you, Brad. Miss you every day. Gorgeous is quite delightful, despite watching a 48-year-old Jackie Chan fall in love with a 20-year-old Ki Shu. I don't know if she was 20 years old, but just looking at them, there is a massive age difference. And despite the age difference, the two actually have some pleasant chemistry. And the supporting characters do add a fun element to the movie. However, there is one guy who follows her from the island to Hong Kong. Probably could have done without him, just because I don't know what he added to the movie. The film contains a fun, soft romance plot, but it's really just kind of a vessel for some fun Jackie action. The first half of the film features two lighthearted, very fun fight scenes, including some dazzling work with a bunch of baseball bats. But the second half of the film is where we get Brad versus Jackie. Twice. The first time I saw this movie, I was blown away. Their fights are up there with Jackie's best against guys like Benny Urquidez, Ken Lo, Huang Jang Lee, or Bill Wallace. After watching this movie, you will instantly become a fan of Brad Allan. Brad would also go on to action direct and choreograph films like Scott Pilgrim, The World's End, and Shang-Chi. But in Gorgeous, we see Brad putting in the work himself in two incredible fight scenes. Genuinely, some of the best of Jackie's entire career. In 1998, we got Rush Hour, one of Jackie Chan's just undoubtedly most popular films, but one that Jackie had very little control on, and apparently, according to Jackie, one he did kind of just for the money. But in Jackie's own words, Gorgeous was a passion project, and Gorgeous was his baby. And it shows on screen in some fun and epic fight scenes. Again, the two at the beginning, just being a lot of fun. The two at the end, just being some of his best. And you get it in a neat little bow that is a nice, delightful rom-com. Kishu is delightful. Tony Leung is wonderful. The bad guy is, he's being dastardly, but he's also kind of friendly. It's a nice little rom-com. It's delightful, and it also happens to have incredible fight scenes. This is one that probably gets like a fair amount of credit from like the martial arts action community. It's just one that I don't think enough people out in the rest of the world really know about, and I think they should, because it's good. Number 2, Crime Story. The first entry in this video is one of Jackie's more serious efforts. But New Police Story has nothing on the darker tone of Crime Story. Crime Story is about a criminal syndicate who kidnaps a wealthy man to hold him ransom and forces his wife to pay up, even though when she pays, they're just gonna kill him anyway. Of course, it is up to Jackie's police officer character to investigate and get to the bottom of it, find the man who has been kidnapped before she pays up and they kill him. But of course, it's not that easy because he has somebody working alongside him who is, of course, a dirty cop in on the job, trying to get his money as well, trying to get his payday, and he will do anything he can to get in Jackie's way. You see where this is going? It's a very complicated investigation. Where Police Story is fast-paced from comedy to action, Crime Story is slower-paced, focusing on investigation over thrills. Where Police Story is lighthearted, Crime Story has a dense gloom over the story. Where Police Story has a blend of fun and edge to the choreography, Crime Story uses the action style of Jackie Chan and sort of molds it in a creation of desperation and danger. Crime Story is very light in the action. However, it paces itself very well between action scenes. There are no gags as it's not a comedy, but when an action scene does arrive, the action is well earned. And while it maintains that signature Jackie style, the tense story and malicious actions of the villains evolves a typically fun Jackie fight into a terrifying fight for not just his own life, but his entire case. Please do not watch Crime Story expecting a fun comedy like a Jackie Chan film typically would be. But however, do go into Crime Story just expecting a good movie. Different does not mean bad, and in this case, the difference is very welcome. Crime Story is fantastic, and I believe it deserves so much more credit. Number 1, The Young Master. The Young Master may be one of the most underrepresented Jackie Chan movies of all time. I know that I am not the expert in classic kung fu. Far from it. But I feel pretty good about my Jackie Chan knowledge. I truly do. And when I was introduced to The Young Master, I was stunned by its perfection. However, I cannot be to blame for my ignorance of this movie, not knowing it existed or how good it was, when no one in the community would talk about it. The plot of The Young Master is a bit strange. It involves Jackie out there searching for his brother while also being mistaken for a criminal who has just escaped captivity, and he must sort of clear his name. There's a bit more to it than that, but honestly all I can remember is how great the action was. The criminal he is mistaken for is also played by Hwang In-sik, who is just incredible. He is introduced in this movie, escaping the captivity and just kicking people left and right. It's truly one of the most magnificent things I've ever seen from Hwang In-sik. You know the dude that Bruce Lee beat up and then his two friends just beat him up while he was down? It's that guy. And he's amazing. When you think of Jackie's 70s output, you think of the big three: Snake in the Eagle's Shadow, Drunken Master, and Fearless Hyena. But Young Master trumps all of them. Yes, I know that The Young Master came out in 1980, but it has all of the elements of those three films. It feels like a 1970s Jackie film, just honed to perfection. It feels like a punctuation to the decade for Jackie, just like Jay-Z's The Blueprint does for 90s hip-hop. No, I don't know anything about hip-hop, I truly don't. But I do love the movie Dope. Snake in the Eagle's Shadow is Yuen Woo-ping and Jackie Chan just beginning to discover the Jackie Chan style. Drunken Master was pushing it further in brilliant fashion. And Fearless Hyena was Jackie taking that style into his own hands in his directorial debut. But The Young Master is a final product of perfected style. All of the efforts of those three films culminate in the utter perfection that is The Young Master. Truly a gem of a film that, when I first watched it, I was just happy that it existed. And I would like everybody else to have that happiness. So please, go watch The Young Master. I don't feel like anybody talks about it. Even people in the martial arts action community still to this day, despite us having a Blu-ray of it now, something we can actually lay our hands on and watch. Despite us having this, I still don't feel like enough people are talking about it. Just like I feel for all of these movies on this list. So please, check out these Jackie Chan movies. We all know Jackie Chan, we all love Jackie Chan, but it truly feels like over the past, 30, 40 years, we're all just talking about the same movies. Drunken Master 1 and 2, Rush Hour, Rumble in the Bronx, I don't know, more things that I can't think of. All of his, Wheels on Meals, Dragons Forever, everything else behind me up here, Forbidden Kingdom even. We're all talking about the exact same films for the past 20, 30 years, but let's talk about some more films that deserve more credit, some movies that deserve more love, some movies that are just so amazing and not enough people give them the attention they deserve. So check out these movies, and if you have seen these movies, tell me in the comments which one's your favorite. Are you going to check out these movies? Let me know all those things in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Head over to Facebook, where there is the Martial Arts Film Freak Facebook page, Instagram, Martial Arts Film Freak, Tristan_Glover on the Twitter, Martial Arts Film Freak on TikTok. If you like this shirt right here, this Drunken Master shirt, because it's not a Young Master shirt because I don't have one of those, head over to the link down below for my merch, because I made this shirt and I think it's pretty nice. I think it's pretty cool. I've also got a Patreon if you feel like doing that. Everything going to the Patreon will be donated back into the YouTube channel to just simply make it better. So thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good day.